Hello everyone, you know which month it is. It is indeed April, which means I have to upload something. Just kidding. Um, but yeah, it's been a while. I decided to upload something because I've been playing a couple of tournaments on Smalgon lately, and this is one of them. This is the DPP Ubers Cup from the Ubers Classic. I don't remember which edition it is right now, but basically there is a tournament for each generation of Ubers up to from ADV to Ultra Sun and Moon. So this is the DPP Ubers one. Also, if you hear a lot of background noise, sorry about that. My neighbors can be pretty noisy to say the least. So I'm gonna try to work around that, but if I can't, I apologize. But anyways, this is against I believe his name was Jebaited, something like that. Uh, Pretty cool guy. Pretty easy to schedule with. Makes things a lot easier when you can schedule with someone rational. But yeah, I've been playing DP Ubers for a while now, so I know what I'm doing in this tier at least. And yeah, let's get right into the battle. There's no team preview in DPP. I don't know if you remember this, but I'm using lead Ho-Oh. He has lead Rayquaza. Um, as far as lead matchups go, this is pretty neutral. I am a charcoal Ho-Oh to deal more damage to Deoxys. I have enough speed to outspeed Tyranitar, max attack, and the rest in HP, so I'm pretty bulky. I should leave any attack. He goes for Draco Meteor straight up. He doesn't go for Dragon Claw or Outrage, which lets me to believe that Draco Meteor is his best Dragon move. Rayquaza doesn't carry Fire Punch in this gen. It normally carries either Fire Blast or Earthquake, Extreme Speed, Draco Meteor, or a physical Dragon move as a lead anyways. So I think that's a pretty fair lead matchup. I decide to go for Braybird just in case he's Lumberry and I don't waste a turn. And then I go for Bronzong because, as I said, he's -2 and Fire Blast wouldn't do much. But yeah, here I just go for Rocks as he goes to Dialga. I go back to Ho as a pivot in case he wants to either set up Rocks or go for Thunder, I don't know, and sack it. But he goes for Fire Blast and the damage tells me he's actually Specs. Because this is a very bulky Ho, as I said before. And Fire Blast doing that much, it pretty much tells you that it is Specs Dialga. So here, I have two options. I can just Roost, or go to Kyogre, which I have in the back. This is a lead Ho for Sun teams in case I run into a Sun team, like Deoxys speed team with Groudon and stuff like that. So sorry, I have a lot of gas in my mouth for some reason. So I'm I'm holding down the burps. So I have this lead Ho for Sun teams. It works pretty well as a suicide lead for Rain teams. And yeah, he goes for Fire Blast. I decide to I decide to go to Kyogre. Since I don't want to reveal which Kyogre set I am, I'm actually gonna go back to Ho-Oh. I don't know what he wants to do here, but I'm pretty sure he was gonna Extreme Speed anyways. So I decide to just go to my Latias, which is something I can afford to reveal, and just go for Dragon Pulse. If he has something to take the Dragon Pulse, it is fine because the Rayquaza is gonna die to Stealth Rock if he switches out anyways. He does decide to go to Bronzong afterwards, after he sacks the Ray, and I just go to Kyogre hoping he doesn't go for Explosion, which he shouldn't, because if Dialga is Specs, he should be Stealth Rock, and that is what he should be doing against Latias. So I go to do just that. Here I just decide to go for Hydro Pump in case he wants to stay in and go for Toxic or something. I am Lumberry, and I didn't think he would explode right there. But if he decide to just stay in, I think Hydro Pump was a very safe play. Also, if in case he wanted to go to Dialga, getting damage on that was also really helpful for my Latios later on in the game. But he goes to his Latios. That's fine, honestly, because even if I missed, which I do, Pokemon. Um, the next turn I leave a Thunder since I'm max HP Kyogre, and I have the Lumberry and I have Thunder Wave. I am Thunder Wave Calm Mind for this Latios specifically. I am running like a bulky offense, like balance team, more on the offensive side, with Lucario in the back. My other Pokemon is Darkrai. So the purpose of this team is to status Pokemon, or just clear the way for Lucario to sweep late game. So I have T-Wave Kyogre to support it, and Darkrai in the back also with Trick. I am Choice Scarf Darkrai in the back. But yeah. So I go for Thunder Wave, and next turn I just go for Hydro Pump. If I had hit the first one, I would have gone for Ice Beam, but since I didn't, I decided to just go for Hydro Pump. I believed it was better in case he just wanted to go Dialga. I didn't think he would risk me going for Thunder Wave again, which is why he didn't go Dialga. But I want to go for Hydro Pump just in case. Like I said, getting damage on the Dialga for Dragon Pulse and my own Darkrai is pretty huge. So I just decided to go for that. Anyways, Kyogre dies. I don't think he's last. Well, I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit, but I just revenge killed the Latias with my own Latias, and he has 2 Pokemon left. So he has a Steel type, like a very bulky Steel type. His team is built something like a Rain team or a Dragon Spam team. So either his last 2 are something with speed control for Rain. I mean, I don't not really Rain, because Dialga plus Bronzong and Rayquaza can actually handle Rain pretty well, but it depends on how he plays it. But he definitely has some speed control, either like a fast Scarfer like Garchomp, or a Swift Swimmer, or like Kyogre plus a Swift Swimmer, a Scarf Garchomp, or Groudon, something like that. So those are the 4 Pokemon I'm expecting actually. But here he rebuilds Darkrai. I decided to risk this play because, as I said, my last 2 were Scarf Darkrai without a Sleep Talk, and Lucario. So I cannot afford to switch into those. And I also need not Groudon, Bronzong awake, because his Dialga is alive. So, and there's also the possibility that he has another fast Pokemon. So I kind of needed that to be able to attack or just pivot and explode or something. So I decided to just risk Latias in case he went for Dark Pulse and I died. I could have just gone to my own Darkrai and just go for Dark Void, hoping I don't miss. But he just goes for Dark Void here, which is the best possible scenario for me, because I don't need these Latias. Even if his last is like Kyogre, I would just sack this. But yeah, he goes back to Bronzong. I think his Darkrai was also Scarfed, since he didn't immediately Nasty Blood or something like that. I think he would have if he had it. But yeah, he goes straight for Payback, and I just go for Earthquake, hoping like I catch Dialga or something. But no, I go into my own Darkrai now. Since he rebuilt Payback, I know he doesn't have Gyro Ball, so and he wouldn't explode on a Bronzong. So yeah, bringing in Darkrai was pretty safe. And now I have the very safe Dark Void, quote unquote safe. If I missed, I would have been pretty disappointed. But no, I hit, and the next play is kind of weird for me because he goes into Garchomp. I'm guessing he's Scarfed, but he has no, like, if I just, he doesn't know my last, right? So my last could have been like something fast that Garchomp can't handle, something like Lucario or Rayquaza, which would make sense in this team, especially because he doesn't know my Darkrai set. He doesn't know I'm Scarfed, because Darkrai doesn't have, since it doesn't normally carry leftovers unless it's up, it can carry Life Orb, Chople Berry, Lumberry, or even Chilenberry. So he doesn't know any of that, and I actually do have Ice Beam for Scarf Garchomps on this team because the point is to support Lucario. So I do have Ice Beam, but I found it pretty weird that he switched into this directly, like hard Garchomp. But nevertheless, he did, and I just go to my Bronzong. And here I decide to pull a double switch into my Lucario, knowing that he would go back into his Bronzong. And now Lucario is gonna get a kill with close combat, pretty much. He decides to sack his Garchomp. I guess that's alright, considering Dialga is probably the mon that does the most damage to my team right now. Considering my other three Pokemon, Dialga and Darkrai. So yeah, and he also needs the Bronzong alive to wall my own Bronzong. So I guess going straight to Garchomp is pretty fair. And I just finish it off with extreme speed. So I'm in a very good position right now. Killing that Garchomp right there is so big. But yeah, here he makes a very questionable play in my opinion. Goes back to Bronzong, hoping he wakes up. I just decide to risk it and go for Sword Dance, honestly. I figured it was probably the best play, because Darkrai cannot kill that Bronzong. And even if I go for Darkrai again, he might predict that I go for Trick on that Bronzong, which would be my best play. And I just decided not to risk it also because I also need to outspeed his Darkrai with my own. So I wouldn't risk that for whatever reason. So I go for Sword Dance, then go for Close Combat, gonna kill that Bronzong. And then he goes into Darkrai. It doesn't matter though because it doesn't leave extreme speed from that range. It does 78%. And he's just gonna forfeit from there because Lucario pretty much cleans. Even if he won the speed type with Dialga, which even if we run both max speed, I know I am running Jolly max speed. So even if he were and he ran something like Thunder, his best chance was dodging Dark Void and like paralyzing Bronzong, paralyzing everything. But yeah, that was game 1. And I won very comfortably. So let's go to game 2. Okay, so right now in this game I'm running a very different team. The last one was more offensive. This one is a little bit more defensively. This is still balanced, but I'm running more of a Toxic Sunstall or Toxic Sun balance with Toxic Groudon, Toxic Protect Groudon. So I have lead Fortress. It's gonna lead off Tyranitar. You don't know how much I loathe lead Tyranitar. It's a very big threat in DPP. Because of the versatility of the moves we've had. I get pretty lucky this time dodging Fire Blast. Not because I wouldn't have gotten the spikes up, because I do have the Focus Sash, but because I dodged the first Fire Blast, I am able to break his potential Sash with Rapid Spin. So that is actually pretty huge, because now he is immediately threatened by whatever I decide to bring next, which is going to be my Groudon. I just decided to go for the safe EQ in case he was not fast and I could KO it from that range, but he just goes into his Latias, goes for Draco Meteor, and I just go safely into my Heatran. I decide to set up rocks, and he goes back into Tyranitar as I go back into my Groudon. Now here, this is something that I question myself a little bit, because the series of plays you're about to see are not the best on my part, but also I'm very like that. I made those plays because I was facing, because of the plays that my opponent made. Pretty much is what I'm trying to say. So I'm thinking that his team is basically he has a lead Tyranitar with Stealth Rock, but he didn't serve Stealth Rock when he had the chance against Heatran, which moves me to believe that maybe he has Stealth Rock on something else and maybe he's just 4 attacks on this mon. But so I just decide to go to my Groudon. Here I just decide to Toxic because I thought he would want to preserve this Tyranitar for my Heatran, but no, he stays in and absorbs the Toxic, then goes into Latias. And here's when I make the most questionable play. So I go for Protect, and he has Draco Meteor, but I think he might want to go into Tyranitar thinking I would protect. I mean, I would go Heatran, maybe, or maybe rebuild Kyogre, which is a possibility considering he has lead Tyranitar, and that is very common with lead Kyogre. However, he just decides to stay in and Draco Meteor again. If I just went into Heatran, that would have been pretty bad for him because I could have just roared and gotten a lot of damage with my Groudon alive. I mean, so yeah, pretty questionable on my part, but whatever. I roared the incoming T-Tar knowing it would come in after Latias used Draco Meteor because he pretty much cannot touch it with Latias. Even if he had HP ground, it would have done like 30-40%. The roar rebuilds Jirachi. Since Jirachi didn't show leftovers, I can assume it is Choice Scarfed. Choice Scarf Jirachi is pretty common in DPP. So I decided to go for the save Giratina on the U-turn, and hopefully you may be wondering why, but I didn't want the Heatran to be tricked because I see two Pokemon that are completely walled by Heatran. If he had HP ground, he would have already used it, but he doesn't. He didn't, so I'm assuming he doesn't have HP ground. And Jirachi is scarfed, so whatever he decides to lock into, Heatran is gonna wall it afterwards. So yeah. Going to my Giratina, he U-turns into his T-Tar. I am faster. I'm max speed Giratina, so I just take it out with EQ. And then he goes into Rayquaza. Now this is a big threat. I have a Scarf Palkia in the back, but I cannot bring it into Rayquaza, unfortunately. So I am forced to go into my Dialga. My Dialga is a max speed, max HP, Toxic Bulk Up Protect Dialga. So I decided to bring it in, knowing I would take Dragon Claw plus EQ with Protect. And that's exactly what I do. I Protect, and I have a pretty good chance to leave EQ after this. And I leave with 1%. That's actually pretty crazy. So I leave it, and I take it out with Dragon Claw. That was pretty huge. I decide to go for Protect, and he reveals Dragon Pulse here, which leads me to believe that he doesn't have Calm Mind, HP Ground, or Grass Knot. He most likely has either Thunder or HP Fire as the last move, because he should have Recover, because Latias without Recover is pretty uncommon unless he has Healing Wish, but on these type of teams normally they have Recover. So I decide to Protect again, or do I Protect? No, I go into Heatran. I go into Heatran as he goes into Groudon, knowing I would do that. Here he reveals Rock Polish. I knew he wouldn't be SD because on this team it wouldn't make much sense to be Double Dance Groudon, because normally Double Dance Groudon needs a lot of support because it can only carry one coverage move. So I knew he wouldn't be that, which is why I just I didn't feel as threatened as I would have if I thought it was Double Dance. So I go to Dialga and as a sack, really, but he reveals Rock Polish. Then I Protect, thinking like maybe he wants to reveal Dragon Claw, break the Giratina, which he does. He reveals his Life Orb, so that confirms that he is not Double Dance. And I go to Giratina to take one Dragon Claw, and I actually have Shadow Force on this Giratina. So Shadow Force plus Shadow Sneak is going to take out this Groudon. He really cannot switch into anything of the mons he has. Latias definitely doesn't take Shadow Force. Neither does Jirachi after Stealth plus Spikes and Shadow Sneak. So the best play he can make right here is just to let the Groudon die. Then he goes into Jirachi, goes for Iron Head, and I go back into my Palkia. As I said, I am Scarfed, so worst case scenario I lose the speed tie, but Special Rend is a very safe play, and I take out the Latias. Oh, oops, what turn was it? Let me go back. Was it? Okay, I believe this is it. Yeah, I do take out the Latias, and he is gonna send out Dialga. Now, I have reason to believe that this Dialga is not max speed, because if he were, he would have brought it out against Giratina. I don't know if he was um, valuing more Dialga more against taking potential damage with DQ from Giratina, but I believe he was in max speed, so maybe that's why he didn't bring it in. But either way, the only way he can win this game if he has Earth Power and Dragon Pulse. But I crit here, and I take out Dialga. But like I said, it only mattered depending on what the coverage, on the speed and coverage he had. If he were just like modest, like Giratina just outspeeds and gets rid of it afterwards. But yeah, we cannot possibly know that now. So this is gonna be a very, very safe game from here. I'm just gonna sack Giratina and then go to my Heatran, which pretty much walls this Jirachi, and not even getting the flinch, I go for Lava Plume, and I win the game. So that's the series. Like I said, I plan to upload whenever I have time. Right now I have a very busy schedule, but if I have some time, I probably will upload like the tournament games that I have or something. So yeah, look forward to that. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, DPP Ubers is pretty fun, so if you have a chance, play it, in my opinion. So yeah, see you guys later.